All right, welcome back. Today we're gonna take a quick look at what I would consider the three probably best ascendancies. This is of course still up in the air. We haven't seen the tree yet. We haven't seen any of the all of the skills and lineage supports and all those things. We haven't seen all of that yet. So this is just what I assume will be, or at least for me, will be the top three picks of ascendancies for this upcoming expansion called the Third Edict. And my current number one pick is gonna be this tactician build that I got right here, which is a full support build. It's not a DPS build. It doesn't do any damage whatsoever. It's strictly support. And the reason why I think this is a great build is if you are one of the type of people like me who likes to play with other people or in public lobbies with a team, whatever that might be, having somebody as a support character is super useful and very nice on top of it. And with the upcoming changes, there is a decent chance, I would say, that this build might actually receive a significant buff in some ways. It could also be a nerf. It's still a little bit up in the air, and I can't explain why. The reasoning behind that is due to this armor right here. As you'll see, the bottom line says banners always have maximum valor. And what that actually does is that when you put down your banner, as you see, mine has 55. So it'll always have 55 no matter what banner I place, which gives you the maximum amount of benefits. Now, they are changing the valor mechanic to something called glory, and you have to use the glory in order to place down your banner. Now, if this armor changes its writing, this last line to say banners always have max valor, so you will be able to always place a banner, no cooldown needed or anything, then I think this might actually be really good. But it also comes down to this mod right here that says that the aura magnitude is increased 10% per valor. So 10% times 55 is 550% increase on the aura magnitude. That means that it doesn't just give me 5 movement speed when I place down the banner, as you'll see right here. If we go down, I'm currently at 27 movement speed. I place my banner, now I have 73 movement speed. So if this stays in the same type of way that it is right now, where it just says valor instead of glory instead of valor, then I think this might actually be a really good build. It gives a bunch of defenses. It gives damage and attack speed. It has curses. So we have enfeeble and temp change currently, and that is just extremely helpful. We also have a companion with invulnerability aura, which also helps both us and everybody in the party. So I hope to see this build not lose its actual value from this change. So we'll, as I said, we'll just have to wait and see. We'll take a quick peek at my tree here. This is what it currently looks like. I do have a lot invested into the banner mechanic here. And there is some of these, like this one has plus 20 maximum valor. We'll have to wait and see what this actually gives in the new tree. And there's a handful of other things. And besides that, what you're really looking for is just a bunch of helpful nodes with the allies tag, allies in your presence. And of course area of presence, so the area that you can that your that these mods affect other people, that area grows. So if you want to see how big it actually is, you can hover over an item that has that mod. You can then hover over the presence part of the mod, and you'll see a big green ring around your character, and that green ring indicates how big of an area is affected by this mod. Now, getting a bunch of decent mods onto your scepter as well is really important. Something like accuracy or fire damage is pretty decent. Life regen, maximum resistances. Maximum resistances is not a thing. Sorry, it's all resistances, but that's not really as important. You rather want to have a bunch of damage mods on here, to be fair. And then you kind of want to have spirit, and you kind of need to have the area. Presence area increased, right? That's basically it for this build. It's really simple, not a whole lot to do in terms of gear and stuff. It's fairly easy to gear out, and the thing that I'm thinking is probably around 50% of people will be playing Deadeye, which is going to be my second choice. So playing something different from that would probably give you a better chance at cheaper items and like easier to get gear and stuff like that. But if the majority of people is playing one build, the gear for that build is always going to be exceptionally expensive. So that's another reason for why I'm thinking about playing this build as my league start. The way I do when I league start a support build like this is, for this specific one, I'll be playing bow with gas arrow, and that's how I'm gonna go through the campaign. And then once we get to the end game, we can swap into this support build. All right, so as stated before, my number 2 pick will be the Deadeye. I think the Deadeye has the most potential for damage output at this current moment. We might see some changes to that later down the line, or once we get into the league, there might be something else popping out. But as of right now, I see a lot of potential with this character. It has really good ascension. It's really strong. It's in a great spot on the tree in terms of damages you can pull and stuff like that. So for that reason, it's really a nice starter. And with the new ascendancy point that lets you mark enemies automatically, basically, that seems extremely powerful. And the other thing about the Deadeye is you could technically play a bow build, you could play like lightning spear or like spear builds, you could play crossbow builds, you could combo some of that, like crossbows and bows, for instance, or some other stuff with the new upgrade to weapon swap. I feel like this has a lot of potential, and I could see this being one of the best, if not the best, DPS build in this upcoming league. And that's one of the reasons why I have been thinking a lot about playing this. I would like to try this skill called Freezing Salvo. I'm not sure if I will be playing this, but this is definitely in my top 3 picks for right now. And third, we got the Blood Mage. So the Blood Mage, to me, is one of the better builds that I have played so far. It's one of my favorite builds. I really love this build. I had a lot of fun playing this. It was absolutely outrageous. It was insane. It had so much DPS. It was ridiculous. One of my favorite builds that I made in the early days of the game. Definitely want to play something like this again at some point. It's not really possible right this moment, just not to play this exact build that I have here. It just doesn't work the way it did before, but it's still usable. It's not completely dead, but I do see a bunch of potential with this ascendancy. And on top of that, you have a very easy time leveling, in my opinion. You could level as a Lich, you could level as an Infernalist, you could level as a Blood Mage with Contagions and Essence Drain, or Spark and something else. Like, there's plenty of good opportunities here. And on top of that, I think that there is a potential for the unarmed situation to be really good on a Blood Mage as well, and that is some of the things that I have been thinking about playing is unarmed blood mage with the new hollow palm, or something in that area, maybe even something completely off meta or off like the norm. I'm not entirely sure with this yet what to do and what is gonna be good, but I have a feeling that this ascendancy will be very strong, and if not, then the backup ascendancies in Infernalist and Lich are both already very, very good. So in case the Blood Mage doesn't work out quite well, like quite the way you wanted it to, you do have the choice to switch the ascendancy to a Lich or to an Infernalist, or like Infernalist. Lich being one of the better chaos builds right now, in my opinion. My Lich is doing a decent amount of damage, and it's really, really, really good survivability on it. So I do like that build a lot. I have played with it quite a bit. Not like this though, but I have played it quite a bit, and I did like it. Was it as good as Lightning Spear? No, but next league with some of the buffs we're getting to chaos damage and stuff, and the changes to the tree, that might be way, way better than what it is currently. But we'll still have to wait and see for the new tree. We'll have to wait and see for the new support gems and how the new support gem system works when you can put multiple of the same support gem in and stuff like that. We don't really know how that's going to function and work out. I do see potential for something really powerful though. So that will be my third pick, will be the Witch in any of the ascendancies, to be completely fair. But potentially Blood Mage being the best one is what I would say. I'll give you a bonus, which is like the fourth, technically the fourth in quotations. Since we had a support build as the first, I thought we'll put a fourth attack build, which the Monk is what I would put as my fourth pick. Or if we're just doing a top 3 on DPS builds and we're not counting any supports, the Invoker Monk is probably what I would pick as my third choice if we're just simply talking DPS builds. And the reason behind that is the ascendancy in itself is pretty goddamn strong, to be honest. It's a really, really snappy and fast build. Many of the skills are really snappy and really fast, and this is another one that I would like to try with the hollow palm, unarmed tech. So I think that could be potentially very, very, very good, or potentially actually overpowered. We will just have to wait and see how good the clear and the speed is. I'm not entirely sure on that yet. I really want to see the tree to make that decision, and on top of that, I don't really know if I want to go back and play this build yet again after having played it for as much as I did. As you see, it's level 96. I did play this for quite a bit, like the Blood Mage. So again, Blood Mage and this is a little bit low on the list because I've already spent a lot of time playing those two builds. So maybe I'll go a different route. But as of right now, that is it. Like, that is what I see as being the top tier picks for ascendancies at the moment. We might see some changes that'll change my mind. We might see some pre-nerfs before the patch even comes out. There's a bunch of potential here, and of course we don't really know all the supports and stuff, so there is again a bunch of potential that we haven't really unlocked yet, and we don't really know. And for that reason, this is my last pick. So hopefully you all have a good day, good evening, whatever it is for you. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good jazz, and I will see you all in the next one.